So make a reset and keep the page clean. So the next option will be using the align tool. Using the align tool. Okay, now Alt W to maximize the perspective view. Alt W to maximize the perspective view. Now I'm going to create two objects. So first I will click here on the cylinder. Click on the cylinder. Click on the plus sign near the keyboard entry. Mention the radius as 25. Press enter. And height as 100 and click create. Escape twice to finish it. Not on the pad, the keyboard. Yeah, yeah, that's only for modification. No, 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 in the X1. On the height, one. Escape. You are mentioning it in radius. Height, one. Escape twice to finish. Escape twice to finish. Press escape. First press escape twice, then just. Okay, now to see the shaded with edges, I mean the segments, you have to press F4 on your keyboard. Now the second object I'm going to create is a teapot. Okay, now what exactly I want to do, I want to put the teapot exactly on top of the cylinder. But I don't want to mention the keyboard entry. If I mention the keyboard entry, he will come exactly on the center. It's easy to move it up. So what I will do, click here on the teapot. Click on the teapot. Somewhere far away from the cylinder, press and hold the left click on your keyboard and slowly move the mouse down. You will see the teapot radius increasing. Until you see a height, just leave the click. Escape twice to finish. Done. Now, to mention the radius of the teapot, go to the modify, select the teapot and go to the modify. Mention the radius value as 25 and press it. Done? Okay. Now, as you can see, the teapot is selected. Click here on the select and move tool. Click here on the select and move tool after the teapot is selected. This one. So, then once you click on select and move, click on this button which says align. Click on the align. Now once you click on the align, you will see the cursor changing into some small box icon. Take the mouse near to the cylinder like that. Once you highlight it, click. So it will open up this box. You got the box? Now we remember that every pivot point of the object is on the center, right? So what is my current object? My current object will be teapot. So I will say the correct object as pivot point. What is my target object? My target object is cylinder. Also I will say it as pivot point. Once I done, I want all the position to be aligned together, which is the X, the Y and the Z position. So X, Y and Z position. We have to make it on the top. So once you've done X, Y and Z, click OK. What is the height of the cylinder? 100. On the Z axis, type 100. Done? Okay. So that's how you can align one object with another. Then you will type the coordinate numbers to move him here and there. The object, yes. Say again. You can. That is also easier. Yes. We can by snapping, but here there are too many polygons and too many vertices. The snapping is very hard. That's the reason we are using coordinates. Okay. Using 2D also, but if you want to do everything from the scratch in 3D, then we have to know these things. Okay. Okay. Here, go to the application menu, reset, don't save, click yes. Go to the application menu, reset, don't save and click yes. Now the next one, using the snap tool. Now the keyboard shortcut to switch on and off the snap will be S on your keyboard. So when you press S, it becomes on. When you press X again, it becomes off. Now where is that button exactly? The button is over here. You see the 3 with the magnet symbol on the top? That is the snap button. So when you press S, it becomes switch on. When you press S again, it comes back. Or you can click on the button on, off. Snap doesn't work in creative mode? It will work, but we have to fix what snap you want to use. Now, click on the perspective and Alt W to maximize. Click on the perspective and Alt W to maximize. Click on the box. In the creation panel, click on the box. Click on the plus sign near the keyboard entry. Mention the length as 50, width as 50, height as 50, and click create. Escape twice to finish.
You reset it, right?
Yeah, I reset. Don't mention on the parameters in the keyboard entry. Not on the XY. XY is the coordinate. This is 0.
Yeah.
0. Now make it 0. Right click on that arrow. Keyboard. Right click. Left. 50. 50. Escape twice. Escape twice to finish. Always. Now once you press escape twice, press F4 on your keyboard for the segments. But you will not have just this edge corners, you will. Now I want to make the copy. Click on the select and move. Press and hold the shift key on your keyboard. Click on that X arrow, drag him out. Just make 3 copies. Number of copies 3, but make sure it's copy, not reference. Make sure it's copy. And click OK. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. You should have 4 objects totally. Which is not working? Copy is not working. Click on the select and a shift, drag it far away. Yep. 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, 3. Yeah, right. Make it copy. Press F4. If you didn't press F4, press F4. Don't forget to put that. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to arrange this box on top of each other from corner to corner like a step. Okay, so for that I need to take the help from the snap. So click here on the snap tool, left click to switch him on, left click on that 3 magnet to switch him on, right click to open the settings. So those are the available snaps we have: grid points, pivot point, perpendicular, vertex, face, grid lines, endpoint, and midpoint. So what I want to do, first I will click on the clear all button so everything is unchecked. Then I will switch on only the vertex. First click on the clear all, then switch on only the vertex. Close it. Now click on that last box. Click here on the select and move. Now take the cursor close to the object, you will see a small plus sign popping up in a yellow color. Take the mouse very close to that plus sign. You will see the cursor changing into white color, like a plus sign again. Click, press and hold the left click. Take the mouse up, drop him on the other box. Press and hold the control key. Select both the boxes together. Do the same thing. Drag it, drop it. Control select all the three boxes. Drag it, drop it. Done. Click on the snap button to switch him off. Okay, you don't have to always keep the snap on, just only when you need it. Okay. Now what I want to do, I want to use the other option using the mirror tool. So I will select all the objects. I will select all the objects, or you can press Control A on your keyboard to select all. Press Control A on your keyboard to select all. Then click here on the mirror. Click here on the mirror. It will immediately gets mirrored, but I don't want mirror. I want two objects opposite. Make it copy, and just in the offset type 200 and press enter and click OK. So you get immediately the mirror on the opposite side. Done? Okay. Go to the application, make a reset, don't save, click yes. Say again? We have, it will come later on. So the next one will be using the modifier list. So the first modifier we're gonna try is called taper. So this is the first modifier we're gonna do. So click on the perspective and Alt W to maximize. Click on the box and click on the plus sign near the keyboard entry. Here on the length mention 50, on the height mention 50, sorry, on the length 50, width 50, height let's say 300, and click create. Escape twice to finish. Done. Press F4 to see the segments. Now select the box and click here on the select and move tool and go to the modify panel. Now here on the length segments, make it, let's say 10 segments on the length, 10 segments on the width, 10 segments on the height. Done? Okay. Now before, what we did, we move, rotate, we scale. Now we're going to deform that shape itself. Okay. So click here on the modifier list. So there will be a huge list over here. So click on the list and press T on your keyboard and look for taper. You have to select the box in the modifier list, type T on your keyboard for taper. What happened? Not coming? Okay. Okay, in the modifier list, type T on your keyboard for taper. So once you click on the taper, you will see an orange box around your object. And look at the parameters here. Focus only on two, the amount and the curve. When you mention the value, let's say positive value, 0.3, press enter, you will see the top part getting bigger. Or 0.5, it will get more bigger. You're not mentioning here in millimeters or anything, okay? Like scaling, you're scaling only the top.
Okay.
Ratio, yes. Now, you see the curve option, type 0.3, press enter, or 0.5, press enter, you will see that center part getting bigger. When you mention it negative, minus 0.5, you will see it gets squashed. Remains the same.
So 0.3 means what? 1:3?
1:3.
And this curve 0.3 means what?
Again, 1:3.
What does it mean 1:3 curve?
For example, curve, it's like increasing the center value and squashing the center value.
Curve means there will be some radius.
Radius, like x and y axis, is doing from the x and y, not from that amount. The taper is doing from all the axes. The curve is only making from the x and the y axis. Like this, squashing, removing.
Only in the middle.
Only on the center, on the pivot point.
Taper means on the top.
On the top, but all the four sides, scaling. Okay, let's say -1, you will see it gets more squash. Done?
What happens when we manipulate the taper axis?
You are changing the axis itself.
So if I press X, only the X axis will be tapered.
Done?
Curve means in the mid height.
Mm-hmm.
It is reducing the dimension, right?
It is reducing the center, this part. So when you squash the center, of course it makes a flow, a bended flow
Or the dimension is getting reduced in the middle.
in the center, only from the x and the y axis.
only two dimensions, sir.
Yes.
X and Y is only.
No, we have Z axis also, right?
Then Z is vertical axis. So that
No, in 3D you are controlling all the three axes.
correct.
Okay.
Even for taper, even for the first one, what is that amount?
Mm.
Even for amount when we are giving 0.5
Mhm.
what is happening? X and Y is only changing.
No, offsetting on all the four sides.
4 means in one plane we will have X and Y only.
Mm-hmm.
So it will offset only in X and Y direction. It will not go up or down.
It's not going up and down.
It will not
So
go.
the Z is not affected.
Z will not get affected. X and Y direction will only get, and that X and Y is making four sides.
Now, for example, this is your rectangle from the top. This is your rectangle from the bottom. Okay. So when you make value, basically you're making an offset.
Correct.
Okay. Now this is X.
The first one.
This is X.
Amount.
This is Y. Right.
Correct.
Okay. Now watch from here. You are making the curve like that. This is what you're doing.
This is the curved one.
No, this is the taper one.
Taper one.
This is the Z axis remains the same, and he is making the Z axis more here. He is making sure your axis is safe. Why?
Correct. So
So we are pinning the Z axis. Stay there
correct.
on the ground.
Z is as it is. Z dimension is as it is.
As it is, only on the ground, not on the top.
Z is vertical dimension, right?
Yeah, vertical dimension. See, if we are saying if the Z axis is not moving, then it has to control the whole flow, right? I'm saying pinned only on the ground, but make it big on the top. So
Okay,
I'm controlling the Z also.
Let's say like this.
Hmm.
Height is 300 mm.
Okay.
Even if we are making it 0.5, amount we make 0.5. So height will remain 300. Correct?
Height will remain 300.
Height will remain.
Coordinate will change.
What will happen? The coordinate X and Y will change on the top. Means our 50-50 was there. On the top, it will become like if we are putting 0.5, it may become how much it may be. If it is 50-50, then if we are putting 0.5, maybe it is going to be 200 or what? I don't know what will become.
Which one? This one?
No, the second
we are
one is
putting-
asking about the second one coordinates, I believe.
First one is amount. Okay?
Yeah, first one is taper. Yeah,
When we are saying taper,
Uh-huh.
amount 0.5. What is
0.5.
happening? It is going like that.
widening up. Yes.
Widening.
Alright.
So if the dimension, original dimension was 50 by 50.
50 by 50.
When we put 0.5,
Mhm.
what will be the top dimension?
50 into 0.5.
50 into 0.5 is half.
Half.
25
How much?
only.
Yes.
So, but it is widening. It is not. So it means the bottom was in bottom.
The
one
bottom
is
remains 50.
No. It means bottom one is getting reduced. Top one is remains.
No. The bottom is still 50.
Ah.
The top one is increasing.
It's a projection.
Increasing.
Increasing.
So instead of 25, it will become 100.
Now it's 75. When I say 0.5, it's 75 now. 50 plus 25.
50 plus
25.
Okay. So
75.
50 plus 25, top will become 75 by 75.
75.
And the height will remain same.
Height will
Plus,
remain the same.
Okay, this is taper one. Curve, number two, curve. When we are talking about curve, so in the mid height, it will,
Minus 1.
we are writing -1 means
50 minus 1. Which is reduce the 1%.
1% only. So 2.5.
Something around.
Something like that. So that has been reduced in the planar dimension
In
and
the center.
in the center, and it made a curve.
It made a flow.
It made a smooth curve. This means.
Got it? Okay. Got the idea of the taper? Now, if I decide to change my axis, see X will become like that. Y will become like this. Z is what you saw before. This is primary taper axis. Effect, when I say X, see how it's squashing? Y, XY, both the sides. and the last option I have is limit effect. So when I switch on the limit effect, everything becomes to the normal. So upper limit, lower limit. So when I type upper limit to 150, press enter, you will see a small rectangular box coming to the center. If I say 250, so from the ground, when I say lower limit, let's say 150 or minus 150 or minus 250. So that's lower limit, yes, the bottom. But if you uncheck, it comes from the center.
By the way, is there a smooth tool like in Maya? Like
Taper in Maya.
for the whole, so like in Maya there is in 4 or number 5. You press it, it becomes smooth.
No, we don't have it here. Say again. Okay, when I say the limit, let me make both of them 0. When I say the limit effect, now the limit is here, exactly on the ground. This, you see that part? Okay. Now when I type, the total height of my box is 300, right? So when I type 200, my upper limit goes to 200, which is here. So whatever from here will be fixed, and this one will become tapered and curved after that 200. And when I say the lower limit the same 200, nothing will happen. See this? It's trying to squeezing everything. But when I say minus 200, I'm coming from the bottom. So this is what's happening. Let me make 0 and 0. See, this is lower limit. See that line? See how it is scaling? The same thing when I go minus, what is happening here? He pushed my upper limit till where my lower limit went, and rest of them he leave it. So in between them, they are making the taper. Lower limit. Okay. 0, uncheck the limit. Okay, so keep the amount as 0.5, curve as -1, no limit effect, z-axis and xy. That's it. Now the second modifier we will try is called twist. So I'm keeping the taper as it is, okay? So click on the modifier list, type TW on your keyboard. TW, yeah, to go to the twist. So choose twist. So again we have angle and bias. So when I say the angle, let's say 60 degree, from the center it will twist. Okay, now how I can control from where should I twist? The bias is 0. When it says 0, it's from the center. When I say 100, it's from the top. When I say minus 100, it's from the bottom.
What does this 100 means? It's some dimension?
Not dimension. This is 0, right? Okay, so what we have here remaining, we are here in the center. So when I say 50, this is 50. So 0 to 100, 0 to 100. Yeah.
So whatever the dimension of the object is 0, 100, minus 100. This is it.
So now its origin became like
In the-
midpoint of this
In the only for twist.
object. Yes.
Again, I have axis x, y, and z axis. So when I say x, it's from rotating from the x axis. When I say y, from the y axis. When I phrase z. Again, the limit effect if you want to control the limit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I will press and hold the shift key on my keyboard and I will make a copy of this one, like here. And make sure it's a copy. And click OK. Made a copy. So the next modifier we're going to try is called lattice. So select your object, click on the modifier list, type L on your keyboard for lattice. So choose lattice. Now immediately you will see all the polygons got subtracted and all that edges, you see this edge segments and the point which is connecting the segments became 3D. Now here look at the parameters. When I say joins only from vertices, I will see only that points as a 3D like this. When I say struts only from edges, I will see only the edges as 3D. When I say both, of course, I will see both. But what I want to do, I want to keep the second option and the radius. I want to give 0.5, press enter. I want the radius to be this much. 0.5. And if you look closer, that segment which became a 3D is looking like a box. To make it like a cylinder, you see the sides? I will make the sides to maybe 12, so it will become a cylindrical shape. Make the sides to 12 to make the cylindrical shape. Done? Now you see there is a small opening over there in the corners. Yeah? When I check the end caps, it will get close. When I check the end caps, it will get close. This one, end caps. Okay? Done? .5 millimeter radius, sides 12.
When I'm removing end cap, then
The small opening, that's it. Okay. Now what I want to do, I don't like this kind of gap little bit. So first I will say both. Don't worry about that big diamond shape. When I say both, what happened, even that vertices is becoming 3D actually. When I come down slowly, I have an option called tetra, octa and icosa. When I say tetra, tetra will look like this. Octa looks like a diamond. Icosa looks like a spherical shape. Then I will reduce the radius. 0.2 will be my radius, or the same 0.5 I think, right? Yeah, 0.5. Segments 20 to make it smoother. So 20 is making it slow. Make it 12. It's more than enough. So it will make that part smoother like that, like a spherical ball.
It's mesh.
It's becomes mesh. Yes. So tetra will look like this. Octa, icosa. Icosa is more smoother than octa and tetra. So if you want, you can keep tetra. No problem. All I want to do is I want to close that. That's it. No, no, no. See, if I say segments, let's say 1, okay. Tetra looks like this. It's a triangle actually. Octa is a diamond. Icosa is a quad. But whatever you keep, whether it is a tetra or octa or icosa, when you increase the segments, it will become smooth. 0.5. Is happening here, see this one, I used, okay, let's go to this one. I used different modifiers, right? I used lattice, I used twist, I used taper. Now later on I'm deciding that I want the twist to be more in this one. So anytime I can go back to the twist and I can increase the angle to maybe 120. So it will twist more. Anytime I can go to the taper and I can increase the amount to make it bigger, or I can decrease the curve how I want him to be. So you are adding the modifier on top of each other so that you can control one by one together. Even I can go back to the box and I can increase my length, my width, my height later on, or even my segments, decrease the segments or increase the segments how I want him to be. See? Okay, so that is the reason this modifier list is called as procedural modeling. So you're adding a stack on upon each other. So later on you can control it.
Yeah, why there is two twists?
Two,
Twist.
you added twice the twist. Then you can, if you want to remove a modifier, for example, I don't want the twist. Select the modifier, don't press delete. Delete will delete the entire object. So if you want to remove the modifier, select the modifier and click on that dustbin. Remove modifier from the stack. So the modifier will be removed. Others will remain. Okay.
Since it is a copy, it is not affecting the original object.
Yeah, because we made copy. Both of them are parent. Done. Let's make a reset. Don't save. Click yes. हेलो ठीक है सर जी 1 बजे भेजता हूँ बोलो ओ ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है नहीं करूँगा क्या करोगे तुम क्या मैं जा चलो मैं भेजता हूँ उनको ठीक है ओके चलो